Hi, welcome to First Pitch. I'm Ty Comer, your host this season for the Ferrum baseball season. I'm here with Coach Ryan Brittle. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ty. And just so everybody knows that if any mistakes are made on this show, you can email those to tcomer@ferrum.edu. If you have any complaints or mistakes that are made, you can just email them straight to him.
Go right ahead. A little constructive criticism wouldn't hurt. So let's jump on into it, Coach. So last year, defending USA South champs, 29-14 record. Would have liked to gotten 30 wins, but 15-3 in conference. Your second Coach of the Year in 3 years that you've been here, as the head coach. Returning 22 players, with 6 of them being starters. But like we talked about upstairs. How many did you say were upperclassmen?
10. We have 10 upperclassmen on the team this year, so we're very young. I believe we're talented. We've had a really good fall. The guys, including Ty, worked. It's the hardest working team I've ever coached in 18 years of college baseball. So we're excited about that. All that hard work doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win, but it certainly gives you a little bit of confidence in your back pocket going into the season. Last year was a really good year, and I feel like as a program we have made steps each year to get better. 29 wins. We included our first win against a ranked opponent in my tenure. Ferrum College Baseball has lots of wins against ranked opponents. But we beat Frostburg last year, was ranked in the top 25 in the country. 15-3 record in the conference. The second place teams were North Carolina Wesleyan and LaGrange, who were very good. They were both 13-5. So very excited about that. When you have, you mentioned Coach of the Year awards, the Coach of the Year awards and all the individual awards are all based upon your team and how your team plays. You don't receive any of those individual awards unless you have team success. So really those are team awards in my eyes. Coaching staff awards. When you get Pitcher of the Year, Rookie Pitcher of the Year, that's a team award. You can't get those awards unless you have people behind you playing defense and guys at the plate hitting. So it was really a team effort. And although we fell short of a few of our goals last year, it was still a great season and glad to put another ring on our finger.
No doubt. So that's 2 in the last 3 years. If you guys haven't been keeping up, which I hope you have. Some big names on this year's schedule. So like you said, we won 29 ball games. Kind of fell short in the tournament a little bit. The tournament is where you get your automatic bid. Huntington pulled home the bid for the USA South. We kind of laid an egg on that first day and kind of struggled to get back. And then couldn't quite get the at-large bids that were still remaining from those 29 wins. 30 wins would have been a huge benchmark. Plus, we had some games that got away from us that we could have won that could have put us in the regionals. But a lot of that comes back to the strength of schedule last year that you emphasized to us all year. So this year, we've got some big names on our schedule, and I'm excited about playing against these guys to see how we match up. We've got Cortland State, the number 1 team in the country. I think they won a national championship 3 years ago or something like that. Randolph-Macon, also in the top 25. Frostburg State, as you mentioned last year, we fared pretty well against them last year, so they'll be coming for us. And then also we have a road series at CNU. So talk a little bit about the barometer kind of thing for us. We get to see where we match up with all these top 25 teams. And also emphasize how it affects our strength of schedule.
So I've been lucky enough the past 2 years to be on the regional advisory committee, and essentially there's four conferences in our region, and there's a coach from each conference that's on the committee, and we get to rank the teams in the region at the end of the year, and that decides who goes to the regionals and who doesn't, who gets the at-large bid. So I've learned a lot through that process, and your schedule throughout the year means a lot. It means a lot to people in the coaching community, who you play, who you put on your schedule, and then after that, it means a lot who you beat. You can put tough teams on your schedule, and that's a good thing. But if you don't beat them, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. Right. Your strength of schedule will actually go up, but then you look through the teams that are that give you that strength of schedule, and if you didn't beat them, then it kind of takes it away. It nullifies it. But we're lucky enough to have Cortland State coming down. What a great matchup that'll be for us to find out exactly where we are in the country. Cortland State's been to the World Series 14 years in a row, 14 straight years. That is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. They won a national championship just a couple years ago. So to play a team like that, you find out really fast how good you are and how much better you need to be in order to compete at the highest level. We also play Frostburg State. We also play Randolph-Macon, who was just they were in the region championship game last year. They're extremely good. They won 30-something odd games last year and had a great team and have a great program. Christopher Newport, who's always really good. We get to go down to their place and play them early on in the year. Washington Lee is actually receiving votes. We open up with them on Tuesday, Valentine's Day. At Washington and Lee, and Methodist is also receiving votes in some polls, so we play them early on. So the first part of our schedule is going to be pretty tough, and we play most of them on the road. So our first 13 games are on the road. We have 46 guys on our roster, and 10 of them are seniors and juniors. So we have 36 sophomores and freshmen. And it'll be fun. It'll be a fantastic test for them. And we were just talking right before the show. I asked Ty how the team's doing, as I do. Ty's one of the captains on our team. He was voted team captain almost unanimously by the team. So what a great honor that is for him. But I was asking him how our team was, and he laughed actually and said they're a bunch of knuckleheads. They love each other. They kid around a lot, and they have a good time. So I'm looking forward to the year.
Definitely, and team chemistry really can't be undervalued. It's huge. And it showed me in my first 3 years here. Freshman year, we had great team chemistry. Sophomore year, we had team chemistry, but then we also had some things away from the field that pulled us apart a little bit, didn't make us as close. And then this year, last year, we were also a very tight team, but this year it's back to almost that freshman year feel. And the freshman year for me, your first year here was just a magical season. You know, we talk about it all the time. We weren't all that talented, but just our togetherness and how we bought into your strategies and your ideals, it just really worked out well for us. So this year, going back to my freshman year, we were picked 8th in the conference, coming off a last place finish the year prior to you getting here. So they were picked 8th, and we finished first. You know, it's kind of been, and then my sophomore year, I think we were picked first and finished 6th. Yeah. Junior year, we were picked 6th and finished first. So this year, we were picked to finish 2nd, which is a nice honor, as you say. It's nice to be thought of as one of the top teams in the conference. But it's also a little bit of a slap in the face to not be thought of as the top team in the conference after winning a USA South championship. That honor was given to LaGrange, who received 7 first-place votes, got 94 points, kind of in that little system. We received 3 first-place votes, and Covenant picked up the final of the first-place vote. But talk about, and we've talked about this, just to each other about how it really doesn't matter, but it also is kind of nice billboard material almost, and a thing you can rally your guys around.
It is, and you know what? The preseason poll is great. Everybody has one. Every year that I've been a head coach here, nobody's finished in the spot that they were picked. So it's an honor to be recognized, and usually the preseason poll is a recognition of your previous year's season. That's typically what it's about, and it recognizes that for us to be picked 2nd, it recognizes our successes last year. Also LaGrange's successes. They had a really good year. They had 30 wins or more. They had they got 8 of their 9 starting position players back. They only lost their number 1 pitcher and their closer. Their number 2 pitcher actually had the best year of almost any pitcher in the conference. So he's back, but they're going to be extremely good. We look forward to hopefully grinding out this year and somehow finding our way into the conference tournament, and maybe we'll get to match up with them in the conference tournament because we don't play them in the regular season. But we were picked to finish 2nd. Huntington was picked to finish 3rd. Maryville 4th. Methodist 5th. Wesleyan 6th. Covenant 7th, who actually got a first-place vote. So it tells you something about our conference where a 7th-place team can pick up a first-place vote in the conference. And Piedmont 8th, Averett 9th, Greensboro 10th, and William Peace 11th. And I can guarantee you that's not going to be the way that it finishes up. And there's going to be a team that's down there 6, 7, 8 that's going to finish in the upper half of the conference. Last year, our conference, we had 8 teams in our conference that won 20 or more games. In fact, the team that had the toughest schedule in our conference, Piedmont, won more than 20 games and finished in 9th place in our conference and didn't even get to go to the tournament. So it tells you it's a little bit of something about our conference. We have a bunch of really, really good coaches in the conference that schedule tough games and play a good brand of baseball. So it'll be fun. Along with our non-conference schedule, our conference schedule will be tough. It'll be fun, and it's always my goal to play against the best coaches with the best teams, and you figure out if you're good or not. So I look forward to it.
As do I. Going back to LaGrange really quick, no secret why they were picked first. Like you said, 8 out of their 9 position players and only losing their number 1 and their closer. So it's really no secret why they were picked first. We lose our first day guy, Jake Perkins, drafted in the 28th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then you lose your Sunday guy, Cliff Alexander, who's still around, hanging around with the guys. I'll say showing his wisdom. Then you lose your third baseman, Clay Massey, left fielder, Austin Winkles, who hit 5 home runs last year, Anderson Ramos, who hit 7 home runs, also brought something to our team speed, and also our team chemistry.
Personality,
no doubt about it. So no secret why that's there. But talk about almost the replacements, kind of the freshman class, or the not so the freshman class, maybe the JUCO guys, or just talk about our incoming class.
So we want to build a program here, which when you have a program, we have a team, that's great. You have a good team, and then who knows if you're going to be good next year or not. But if you have a program, then you want to have guys that are behind those guys that leave every year to fill in spots. One of the key spots, Jake Perkins, you can never replace Jake Perkins. He's one of the toughest pitchers to ever pitch in the USA South. He was really good. He's very competitive. He won a lot of games. I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying he's a dude.
He's uber competitive.
So, in order to replace a guy like that, you have to have another guy in the wings that might be that guy. And Hunter Peck might be that guy. Dylan Weaver might be that guy. Both of those guys are very talented. Another guy that we have that nobody knows about is Joey Pride, and he's a lefty, and we'll see. We look forward to a very good year out of Joey Pride, but so you have to have guys to fill in behind. Defensively, Jake Holland has done a great job at third base for us. He's also going to jump up on the mound for us and pitch some innings. Jake Martin is returning shortstop, and you're the returning second baseman this year. At first base, we have 2 young guys, Christian Sowers and Drew Callahan, who are vying for time at first base. In the outfield, of a kid named Gray Sherfy, who kind of came out of nowhere and has solidified his spot in center field. Lane Devers back in right, and left field's going to be a platoon situation. Nobody's kind of exerted themselves as the number 1 guy in left field, so there'll be a various guys out there. Brandon Roberts, Michael Dorsonville, and I'm missing one guy. Who am I missing?
Kyle Anstis, maybe.
Kyle Callahan can play out there. I know there's another one that I'm missing. Sorry, whoever that is that I'm missing. But anyway, behind the dish, we're going to be young behind the dish. Joe Stickney's a senior. He's back. He'll catch some. He'll DH most of the time, but Tim Ortega's going to take over most of the catching duties along with Christian Campbell, and Kyle Anstis will be back there some. Kyle Anstis will also be at third base along with Brandon West. Dominic Claxton's another mid-year transfer that we got that could find some time in the outfield. And there's some other young guys that are developing, and by the end of the year, just like Lucas Stevers did last year, he started out in our JV program and ended up leading our team in hitting and playing first base. And so there's other guys that are younger that are in the JV program or in between the JV and the varsity that could move their way up in there. So it's an exciting time of the year because baseball is almost here, and I'm excited about our team. So look forward to seeing. I don't want the season to be over, but I look forward to seeing where we end up and how we do when it is over.
Speaking of an exciting time to be around our baseball program, it's just a nice time to be around our entire athletics program. We're really making strides, we're on the come up, as they say, we're on the rise. Talk a little bit about some other teams.
So before I came in to the show, I just jotted down a few things. Our wrestling team in their 5th year is ranked number 13 in the country.
4th year?
4th year is ranked, as Gary, who knows everything here, is sitting back there. He tells me wrestling's ranked 13th in the country. Nate Yetzer does a great job. Those guys work hard. They're probably the hardest working group on campus.
I would agree.
We're second.
That's right.
We're close to first. Men's basketball is 5-3 in the conference right now, 1 game out of first. 10-9 overall. Women's basketball is leading their division. They're 6-0. They're 11-6 overall. They're first place in their division. Our football team this past year was 6-4, tied or in 4th place, and made great strides they won 5 games the previous 3 years in the football program, and got a new coaching staff, and we're 6-4 last year. Our women's soccer team, who is probably the quickest up and coming program in our athletics department with Coach Lofton at the head, was 11-7-2 last year, 3rd in their division in a very, very tough soccer conference, and with mostly young ladies, mostly sophomores and freshmen with a few juniors and seniors sprinkled in. But so our athletic program as a department as a whole, under the guidance of Abe Naff and Gary Holden and Gail Holly, who everybody knows that Gary and Gail run the department, and Coach Naff takes all the credit for it. Hopefully I don't get a phone call from that one. But under those 3 are growing, doing a great job under our VP, George Seals, and our new president, Dr. Spooner. There'll be nothing but growth, and it's good to tell alumni and fans out there that come back, see our programs play, support Ferrum, and it's really a unique place to be, and it's an honor for me to be back here coaching. And I know it's an honor for you because you're standing in the spot that your dad stood, 100 years ago when he was an all-conference second baseman.
Right.
And I'm sure I'll get a phone call from that.
He's sitting out there thinking like 100 years ago, probably only about 50. No, I'm really proud of Dad, and I'm really happy to come back, and it says something about Ferrum. As you've mentioned many a time before, we've got a bunch of what do you call them, legacy guys.
We've got 5 legacy guys whose dads had a relative play here, so pretty cool.
Says a lot about our program. But that'll do it for this week's installment of First Pitch. Our next show will be February 7th. We'll start coming to you on Tuesdays. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ty Comer along with Coach Ryan Brittle. Thanks for joining us.